Hi, my name is Cornelius Wilson Brown III. I'm the author of The Money Market Autopsy, which is a book that I wrote to introduce money markets to people who may not have heard of them. And in an autopsy, you open up uh, the body at postmortem, and you want to examine to try to figure out why the person died. Well, that's what I did with the market, and it's a good read. I also travel to do keynote speaking, workshops, seminars, things of that nature all over the country. But I'm excited to have an opportunity to talk with you today because I want to talk to you a little bit about the Brown Goose strategy and the Brown Goose software. It was said by someone that there was a goose that laid golden eggs. Well, the brown goose doesn't lay golden eggs, but it lays green eggs. But let me say something though, seriously, before we get into the training. I can't wait to get into that momentarily, but I want to say this, that it's not realistic to think, and the government thinks it's repugnant for people to even imply this. It's not realistic to think that you can master a skill, a professional skill overnight. That's unrealistic to think that you're going to get into money market education and then apply that knowledge and you're just going to do that overnight. That's unrealistic that you can get rich quick overnight. But the people who have gotten their hands dirty and gone through the process, they enjoy a lifestyle that many people want. We have trained and we have developed confident and consistent and profitable and independent retail intraday traders. To the point where they're able to realize in between 1% and 3% historically on their trades after they learn how to engage the market. And so I want to train you today on the 5 things you must know how to do. There are 5 phases to making sure that you are entering and exiting high profitable trades. And if you don't know these things, you're doomed to fail. So I want to train you on what you need to know. First of all, you need to know, and the Brown Goose software, along with the education that we teach, combined with you executing unemotionally, that creates what we call this system. And there are 5 things you must know. Number 1, you must know how to forecast. You must know how to forecast. That's rule number 1. Forecasting simply means knowing where the market should or should not go based on its market structure, its probability, and all those things that may create major hindrances for price to move, whether it's a market structure placed on a higher time frame or what have you. But you must know that. In other words, think about this. You're about to put your hard-earned money on the line. And if you don't know how to forecast, you don't know that it's a supply day, meaning the market should be going short today, or you don't know it's demand day, meaning it should be going long today or rising today, then what you'll do is you'll mistake a retracement for a reversal and you get stopped at every time. And that's what happens because people don't understand how to forecast, how to get the day tight, how to understand the high volume areas. High volume areas are on that chart and they're like minefields that if you don't know how to identify them, you'll step on those landmines. You'll be in a great position and you'll get blown up and you wonder why. Well, you're in a high volume area. So all that is a part of forecasting, pricing profile. Where should the market stay? What is the range? Things of that nature. Number 2, you have to know how to recognize. Recognize what? Well, you have to know how to recognize market structure, because market structure must be situated in a way that the market can actually rise, which is the way that you think it should go. But if it's not even structured to rise, then you will enter it blindly and you'll mistake a retracement for a reversal and be stopped out. Well, you have to recognize momentum. Because not only do we want to know which direction it's going in, but we want to go in that direction fast, right? So that's momentum. You have to recognize when you have that. And then probability. There's statistical absolutes all over that chart, right? Because price isn't driven by indicators. It isn't driven by things you draw with your drawing tools but it's driven by price, it's driven by time and sales, it's driven by orders, it's driven by pending orders, it's driven by liquidity, those things, right? And sometimes those things can be hidden, but we have a way of recognizing that, and we teach that because it's very important that you recognize that you have even the probability from a statistical standpoint, because the market can get extended, right? And then it's like a rubber band, and then it has to retract, right? So if you don't have a way of knowing when this is happening, when the probability is, well, the market is in that extreme place, it's no longer balanced, it's no longer imbalanced, but it's extreme, you need to be able to recognize that. Number 3, you have to be able to know and understand what your confirmations for entry would be, criteria for entry. Like, we have a 4-step process before you enter. Even after we know the date type and the direction, and we know and we have the market structure, and we know that we have the momentum and the probability to go that way, we still now want to even confirm that even a little bit further. So we want to come in from a macro perspective and get tight to a micro perspective so that we can have a clear information, because the quality of the information is tantamount to the quality of the decision. So entry criteria, you must know how to know beyond a shadow of a doubt through in-sample testing, out-of-sample back testing, forward sample testing. You have to know that your trade setup is at a place where when you enter, that you have a great high probability of success. And then the 4th thing you must know how to do is manage. Okay, so you know how to take off in a plane, but do you know how to get to cruising altitude and manage the flight, manage the oxygen, manage the height, manage those things, manage the weather that you may come in and out of? You have to be able to manage, because if you don't manage well, then you can cause a plane crash, just like you can cause a trade crash. So how do you manage? Do you manage with 1 target or 2 targets? Like, what's your reason? What's your rationale for 1 target? And where are you putting that 1 target? What's your reason? What's your rationale? Because you're not just managing the trade, you're actually managing your entire account, every trade that you're taking, because you're tapping into the risk to reward ratio. You see, how many trades can you lose before you're no longer solvent? So that's the risk to reward ratio. So we teach you about that, how to understand that. And then finally, you must know how to exit. There are times when you need a contingency plan. Nobody goes into a marriage thinking about divorce. Nobody gets into a car thinking about a spare tire. But sometimes things that we don't expect actually happen. And so what happens sometimes is that even when you're in the right spot, somebody puts a block order in going the opposite direction for whatever reason. Maybe it's accumulation, absorption, things of that nature. Maybe it's a test, a price test. We don't know why, but sometimes those things happen. And when those things happen on a rare occasion, what you do is you exit with a small loss, understanding what your risk to reward ratio is and your risk to reward ratio is, as well as what your growth chart and your growth plan is. So I don't know, maybe you're a trader and you kind of get frustrated, but I want to encourage you not to do that. I really do. Maybe like, one of our star students who started trading, and he was just getting frustrated. He broke even. He didn't make money, didn't lose money. He was just tired of doing that. And so we got him acclimated to our milieu, and he began to do wonderful things. And you can look through our media packages and see the interview I did with him. Or maybe you just knew that what you were doing wasn't working, that the landscape, the economic landscape across America was changing from an industrialized backdrop to now a technological digital world, things of that nature. Just things are just changing. And so he said, I need to get out of the rat race, and I need to be able to do something to secure my family's future. And he said, I don't know anything about trading, but I'm going to trust you. I'm going to do exactly what you asked me to do. And he went through our program, and went through all of our classes, all of our steps, and he's doing a wonderful job. And so maybe you're like him. You don't know a count and stick from a stick on the street, but we can teach you from scratch. And look no further if that's who you are. It's the will of God that you prosper. That's just a fact. And so again, I'm Cornelius Wilson Brown III, author of The Money Market Autopsy, lead instructor and founder. I just want you to know that I would love to speak with you personally. You can get in touch with us by booking a call and getting on the schedule. I mean, at a time that's convenient for you, because we want to be a blessing to you and a service to you. Here's what I like to do. I just like to hop on a call and, I just want to see what it would look like if we work together, because I know that you're ready for a solution, and we have the solution. Again, God bless you. Have a wonderful day.